It's important for us to acknowledge the significance of the father or the husband or the man in the home. Like, let me share some statistics with you today. 63% of youth suicides are known to come from fatherless homes. 90% of homeless and runaway children that have been documented come from fatherless homes. 85% of children with behavioral disorders come from fatherless homes. 71% of high school dropouts come from fatherless homes. I believe that when the dad gets better, the whole family wins.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you're like me, someone who gets stuck in their head a lot, BetterHelp might be the answer. And right now, if you visit betterhelp.com/sold-separately or use the link in this video's description, you can get 10% off your first month. So give it a try. Remember, you can't take care of anyone else in your life until you take care of yourself.
And now, on with the show.
Hi, my name is Kendra Bates, and my happiness is my faith with God.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Welcome, Kendra Bates. Thanks so much for jumping on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Just excited to talk to you. There's a lot to kind of go over, and just would love to dive into several things. But I guess first off, man, the Amish, what?
Yeah.
That is, I guess that's the thing that everybody's talking about right now. Suddenly Amish, right? Is the show. Going back to your life, you grew up in Milwaukee, right? And then moved to LA? Okay. So what kind of, I guess, first drew you to this show? Were you kind of looking for another opportunity at the time, or kind of walk us through that? What happened?
Yeah, I think I was just in a place in my life where I wanted a change. Like, I'm from Milwaukee. I'm from a small farm town. I grew up like a mile down the road from a farm. And I think the life that I've been living in LA is obviously so outside of what I grew up in.
Yeah.
And when you're stuck in, like, I don't want to call it a toxic cycle in LA, but like LA is a hard city to live in. And I feel like it either makes you or breaks you. And I've been here for 10 years and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like I've done the whole Hollywood thing. I've done like the LA scene, I'm not happy. And this is what I thought I wanted was to like live in LA and be a dancer and be happy out here. But the more I grow in my faith, I'm feeling so uncomfortable being in LA because it's kind of a dark city. It's a city of dreams, but it's also a dark city. And I've always been fascinated with Amish. I went to school in Ohio and I partied with Amish and Rumspringa. So that was like my first introduction to like being around Amish people. And then I also found out my family's history. They're Mennonite. So cool. I had like, it's not the same Amish that we were living with, but it was like all of these ties. I was like, I wonder what living with them would be like. And it's such a closed community. Yeah. So when I got the opportunity, I was like, this is like a no-brainer. Like, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
And I've heard that you're a big animal lover and that's kind of your dream is to be on a farm. So it kind of,
yes.
That part probably really excited you. I mean, to go and be able to live in that environment, that lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's so funny because when people know me, they're like, oh, the LA girl, she wouldn't want to be on a farm. And I'm like, no, but I'm from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Like, you don't understand.
Get back to your roots, to your farm roots.
Yeah.
I was thinking about your career in dancing. It's got to be so hard to try to, because you're classically trained, right? You're in jazz ballet. So in LA during that time, I guess let's go back a little bit before the show. Did you find it difficult? I know you had a short stint in OnlyFans. Was that kind of a money issue too? Like you're just looking for some ways to kind of survive while you're trying to live out your dream with classical dance?
Yeah, it's hard. In LA, like there's so many opportunities for dancers, but you have to like dabble in everything. You can't just be like, oh, I'm a dancer and like be on tour. Like you can go on tour for a month or 6 months, but like you still have to hustle. So like, all these dancers, like they either do like Pilates or they do like entertainment jobs where like you could literally be dressed as like a muffin standing with like a drink in your hand. You know what I mean? Like there's all of these different outlets. And so especially with LA being so expensive, you have to do what you have to do to pay rent. And so my friends were doing OnlyFans and I was hearing how much money they were making and I was broke, still broke. And so I was like, let me try it. And then of course, with being a dancer, you're just naturally comfortable showing your body anyways. Which is like so sad, but it's like, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Just, I guess recently I've heard that how much money is made a month off OnlyFans. I mean, it's crazy money, right? I mean,
it's crazy.
Was there a regret to that, the cost of this fast money coming on? I guess there were some times where you found out some people that you knew or were close to were signing on and following you. That's got to be very creepy and kind of a very weird feeling. But were there some other trade-offs emotionally, or how did you feel that time when you were doing that, just trying to make it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to do it in the first place. Like when I first created the account on the site, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. Like, because I never thought I would be a person to do it. But then it's like, once you, like, when I first started, I was doing it slow. Like, I was like, oh, maybe a couple like lingerie pictures won't hurt. But then it's like, you can only make so much money doing that. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, let me try something else. And then let me try something else. And then next thing you know, you're like deep in it. And you're like, well, now all of these people have seen me. And, you know, then like, it's such a dark place on there because like you make the money through messaging. Oh. And some of the messages you get are just so dark. Yeah. Like, some of these people's kinks and everything, it's like you're reading these messages or seeing videos that they're sending to you and you're like, where am I right now? Like, and so it really starts to create an emotional toll on you. And like I said, I don't want to be doing it anyways. So it's like, it really puts you down even more. And then, hearing people that like I went to school with that are on it, or like people at work saying stuff to me. And a lot of the times you don't know who you're talking to because they could be hiding behind like a fake name or something, you know, and then you're like, okay, did my boss see me naked? Like, did my family members see me? You know, it's just, and then you're just like, you're kind of walking around like, who's seen me? Like, who's seen what? You know, and it's not a good feeling to have.
Did your parents know at the time that you were doing that, or?
Yeah. But my mom calls it fans only. Like, she doesn't know what it is. Like, and it's so sad because there was one day, like when I was doing it, she woke up like crying and she was like, I had this dream that you were like kind of like a prostitute. She's like, is this true? And of course I was like, no, what are you talking about? That's so crazy. But I knew, like, it's crazy. God literally told her in a dream what I was doing and she was trying to call me out for it. But like,
funny how that happens.
Yeah, it's so crazy because when she told me that, I was like, oh no. But like, she didn't know exactly what I was doing on there. She still doesn't know exactly like what I was doing on there. Yeah. And I told her, I was like, this is not a conversation we're going to have. Cause it's such a dark past. And I don't want to like tell my mom, you know, stuff that I was ashamed that I was doing on there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way I look at it too, God knows everybody has a past and things that we do. We all make choices at the time that we feel like you got to do this, or this is going to be the best choice for me right now. But you know, God knows that we all have these testimonies to give and these histories and past. So, so you're in that for a little bit. Did you ever, I was curious about if you ever confronted anybody that you knew you on there, or was that just too weird for you to like have a conversation with them?
Yeah, I think it was too weird.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
But you just knew by their name or whatever that they were somebody you knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause some of the people, like, they would send me pictures and videos back. And like, they would have their face cut off, but like, you could tell, like, whether it's like somebody's tattoo that's like very noticeable, or like, you know, something like that. Or like someone would comment something on Instagram referring to something that I only posted on OnlyFans. So I was like, oh, okay, well, like, now you just outed yourself because you would only know that if you were a subscriber.
Exactly. So that's kind of where the main, so you can post pictures, but the private conversations, the chats, that's kind of where the real money's made, I guess, in that platform. Yeah. Cause
you can only post so much. Like there's different like tactics that you can use as far as like pricing goes and everything. Like you could pay to be a subscriber, or you could have a free account, but then pay for posts. But yeah, you have to like it's like a mind game essentially. So like you're a salesperson, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Did that change how you saw the world or saw people in general, especially when you saw people that you knew kind of getting involved in this, because they're kind of outing themselves, you know, because they're into that. And did it kind of change your perception on the world at all, or how you saw people?
Yeah. Cause there was a lot of married men on there too. Or like, even like guy friends who had girlfriends, like not like friends I've talked to in a while, but like people who had girlfriends that were on there. And I'm just like, okay. And then it made me nervous too. Cause then I dated someone after I did OnlyFans, and he was following all of these OnlyFans girls. And I was like, are you am I dating someone who's talking to an OnlyFans girl now too? You know,
wow.
I feel like it really opens up the door to, one, a lot of darkness that people are into. And then two, it's like, okay, so many people are unfaithful. And then it's like, you're kind of getting hit with like unfaithful. And then you're like, where's the faithful relationships at? You know, because this is all that you're seeing.
Yeah. You're only seeing like people kind of messing around on their wives or girlfriends, and then you experience it yourself. So that had to be a heartbreaker for sure. Your home boyfriend. Yeah. Do you think there's in society a weird, I guess, division between who you are, like in dance in general? Like you mentioned earlier, like sometimes you have costumes that are revealing, or do you think there's this conception that like, oh, she's a dancer, we'll get her to do more? Or is it hard to get people to take you seriously as a classically trained dancer in LA versus just kind of, oh, we'll transition you over here to something more sexually, explicit? Is it hard to like, hey, no, I'm a dancer, I'm not into that stuff?
This is actually a huge problem in the dance world because a lot of our jobs are based on like sexuality, but we, like, as dancers, in my mind, we're like, it's more sensuality, not sexuality. Like, just because we're dancing to like a sensual song doesn't mean we're gonna go and like hook up with 20 guys after it. And I think with dancers, like, from outsiders looking at us, they're like, okay, well, you guys are in like tiny outfits. You're dancing in heels. You're like popping your booty and like whipping your hair around. And it's like, but for us, like, that is a form of dance. Like, we're not dancing in that style to like bring you home to hook up. Like, we're dancing in that style the same way we're dancing in ballet. It's a form of movement for us.
It's expression.
Yeah. And it's like, I've talked to so many dancers, especially like Christian dancers, who have this problem where it's like, we can't do some of these jobs anymore because we're hit with that like judgment that like, oh, we're a stripper or we're a hookup girl or we're this or we're that. And it's like, well, this is just dance for us. Yeah. But like people who aren't in that world, I totally understand. Like even our headshots, like we have to have all different headshots, like girl next door headshot, hip hop headshot, sexy headshot, depending on what job you want. But like even my like sexy type headshot, like it's standard approved. Like our agency, like that's the guidelines that we have to go for our headshots. But then people look at that and they're like, oh, you're in lingerie, you're in this, and it's like, well, no, that's like our dance standard for like a sexy headshot. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's hard too, because like we grew up like that. Like that's normal for us, but it's for an outsider, like that's not normal.
Yeah. And guys get the wrong impression, especially like if you have somebody that's an agent or somebody who's hiring you for, to see those photos or to see you dance. It's men get into this whole new perspective, like, oh, she's into this or that, or she's expressing herself so sexually, and it's like you said, it's a form of dance. It's storytelling. It's an expression. It's not. Has that changed? Has your attitude changed since you gotten closer to God and your faith has come on? How do you feel about that now?
So I refuse to do any job where I know it's going to be like that, which is hard because like this is my career. And now I'm like limiting all of my opportunities. I've had jobs where I've walked off because I get there, I see the outfit that we're supposed to be put in, or I see what's being asked of us, and I'm like, I can't do this, And I've had like the person then come after me being like, well, that's so unprofessional. And I'm like, listen, like how I feel about myself and my relationship with God is way more important than me putting on a thong and dancing in your music video. Like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, you really have to like get that discernment to figure out like, okay, are these jobs going to align? Are they not? Even some choreographers, I know the work that they do. So if I get a casting for them, I'm not going to go, but now I'm in this like weird phase where I'm like, do I even dance? Like I would love to do like Broadway, like a little jazz hand. Like I would love to do that. But it's just like in LA, I feel like most of the jobs are like very like hot girl, so I don't know, maybe I need to move to New York or somewhere else where it's a little bit more Broadway based.
Yeah. Or just go for those and then you can just, travel and go there for the, for that. But yeah, I can see that the LA is very much more, sexual, I guess. And just, that type of music videos, that kind of thing, where it's just, they want that kind of look all the time. It's not more of the classically, which is a shame because dance can be so beautiful, in expression and like I said, I think it is a major form of storytelling. So, wow. So you're still dancing and want to dance, but it's just you're being very cautious on what you choose right now.
Yeah,
that's good for you. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Because I think that's for you to stand on your principles and your faith. That's there's nothing more than that. You've got to stay true to who you are.
Yeah.
So going back a little bit to that time after OnlyFans, you're kind of still probably struggling, looking for ways to kind of come up and figure out what your next move is. And then did you see like a post or something for Suddenly Amish, or was that just something that you saw and go, oh, I'm gonna do this because it sounds like something I could do. It might be fun.
Yeah. So when I quit OnlyFans, there was like a 5-year gap in between where I'm like trying to figure out my life and everything like that. And then I was laying at my pool on Instagram and I saw like a post for like traditional trad wife, like, get away from like your life, technology, everything like that. And I'm like, you know what, that might be nice. Cause it's like also just taking breaks off of social media and stuff like that. I'm like, it might be nice just to like get off the grid. And I also just got off of like a bad breakup too. So I was just like, get me out of here. Like I just wanted to like do something.
Yeah.
And then, I got the call for that. And the way that everything played out and like landed out so perfectly, that's why I was like, oh, this is God. This is literally God trying to like put me in an environment to get me to grow, or some opportunity.
Right. And what was your first, did you have to audition when you got the post? Did you go and they're like, yep, we want you? Or was that a hard process?
You have to go through like a couple interviews. And then like, more interviews and more phone calls. And then they told me like 2 weeks before. They're like, hey, you're going to pack your bags.
You're flying to, where was it? Pennsylvania? Is that where?
Yeah, Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So you walk into this world and suddenly it's very slow. It's different from LA. You've got the loss of most stimulation phones, that kind of thing, loss of control. Did that freak you out at first? Like, did you go into a panic attack? Like, oh my gosh, this is so different from my life.
No, I loved it. Like, I loved it. I was the first one to give up my phone. Like, wow, which is ironic because I was then the one crying, not being able to use my phone.
Right.
But I was all in. I was so excited. And like, literally anything they were asking of me, I was doing. Like, no complaints. Because I was like, I chose to be here. So if this is what I have to do, then this is what I have to do. But yeah, it is kind of scary though, because it's like you're going into a house where you don't know anybody. Yeah. And then it's a different community, a different culture. And then it's like, if something were to happen, God forbid, I still don't know anyone out here. And I don't have my phone. So.
And how long? 30 days? Is that right?
Yeah.
So did you guys know anything that was going on in the outside world as far as, because you couldn't check your phone, you couldn't do any of those things. So did that drive you crazy? Like, oh, I wonder what's going on in the outside world.
To be honest, I didn't even think about it. But like we would hear, there were 2 people that passed away, like stars. Who did Hulk Hogan pass away?
Yeah, Hulk Hogan did.
Okay, yeah. I remember like we were in the house, and then we heard like production people talking about it like far away, and we were like, "What? What did you say?" Like, and they're very careful. They wanted us to be fully immersed, like. We weren't supposed to hear their conversations, but we heard Hulk Hogan pass away. And we were like, wait, what? So yeah, it's like when you hear stuff like that, then you're like, oh, wait, we're in a bubble right now. And so, yeah, it's like you kind of forget about everything that happens on the outside. Yeah. But it was also kind of nice because then it's like you're in this bubble and this is the only bubble you have. And this is like the only thing you can preoccupy yourself or concern yourself with. So I kind of liked it, to be honest.
Yeah. So I would imagine there's a kind of shift and you start utilizing what you do have. And so you probably really get into, I don't know, whatever that like an auction or an event. I don't know. Maybe that's, you kind of start to get into those things and look forward to them because that's what you have at that particular time. Did you get close to anyone in the Amish community, friends or romantically? Did you get really close?
Not within the Amish community. Like the people I got closest to were the English people, obviously. And then like I did have a connection with Matt when we were there. But that itself is just hard because we both decided to leave. So then like he goes back to his life, I go back to mine, and we're literally like so far apart. So I'm just like, well, this isn't going to work out either. But there were a couple cute Amish guys in the community. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's too because like they're different. They're a different breed. Like, you talk to some of the guys and just the way they like carry themselves. Like, not James. I'm not talking about James, but like other people. James, but yeah, different like conversations. You're just like, oh, you guys maneuvered way differently than guys in the English world.
It seems like I don't know how to put it exactly, but it's like they're old school. They're back to what the roles were, men, women. I know that it's kind of extreme sometimes, but there is this feeling, has to be, I would think, that there's this feeling of protection from them and that they're out getting it done every day. And that has to be kind of attractive and probably a breath of fresh air from what you've come from.
Yeah. Well, I think in our society, like in LA right now, or I mean, I guess even in general, I feel like I'm going to get hate for this. Women have become so independent that they're like, I don't need a man. I don't need him to do this, or this. But then when the men don't do things for the women, then the women are like, well, he doesn't care. Like, he's not a gentleman. He's not. And it's like, well, you kind of trained him to not do the things that you're asking him to do. Yeah. You know, like, I think like women have just become so like independent that they're not allowing men to like have their role of being a man. And so like when I lived in the Amish community, like the women are submissive, and that was new for me, but I kind of also liked it because I was like, I feel like safe. I feel protected. I feel like I can be like feminine. And so I'm now trying to take that into my like daily dating life. Because I don't want to be like clashing for who's going to be like the take care of, you know what I mean? Like I want to feel like I'm in a more traditional woman role. Yeah. You want that leadership from the man, and you want to be able to be partners, but also to have the man step up and be a leader in the family. I think that you're exactly right. In today's time, women, because as men, we sometimes feel like we're not needed, or we're not good for anything, as far as relationships go, or with women. But it's like, I think men walk on eggshells nowadays around women, because it's just 100%. How are they going to react if I open the door for them or cook them a meal? Are they going to be offended because and that's just how I was raised. That's how you take care of women, or that's just opening the door. I've had women like get mad because I've opened the door for them and be like, I can do that. I'm like, okay, like, I know you can, but just trying to be a gentleman, but it's just sometimes doesn't work out. It's just crazy, and it makes you feel horrible. And I'm like, why am I feeling bad? I did a good thing, Yeah. No. So it's crazy. So what about the way the ladies had to dress? Did you find a relief and comfort in not having to dress up every day and figure out how you're going to do your hair? And was there a sort of comfort in that, and not having to compete? And everybody's kind of has the same outfits, right? And I loved how they dressed, to be honest. And that, I think I needed this experience to change how I dress myself, because I had never put on a long dress ever in my life. And so when I first put that dress on, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. I felt beautiful. I felt like more whimsical and like light and more of myself. Yeah. As where like before I would always wear like, I don't want to say like revealing dresses, but like, cause they weren't like club dresses or anything like that. But I would definitely wear clothes that would like accentuate my body, or like definitely get sexual attention. And then I would hate the attention that I was getting, you know? But then when I put on that dress, I felt like I didn't have to like hide a part of me, if that makes sense. I'm covering more of my body, but I'm not. I think it was more of like a personality thing, like a character thing. It's like I'm dressing more modestly, and now I don't have to act like a sexual like person or get that sexual attention because I am more covered.
That's the first
thing. That makes
sense. Yeah, that's the first thing guys when you used to dress a certain way, guys see that and then they automatically, oh, I'm going to talk to her. But if you are dressed down, it's like your personality is the first thing that a man would notice and fall in love with instead of all the time your looks. I mean, it is an interesting change, but I think, I can see how that would be very, very comforting and feeling of like brand new and wow, this is great because you don't have to try. And I think that's another thing in society. Don't you? I mean, especially among women are trying to outdo one another. And there's this whole thing of dressing up. And it's almost like the more you dress to show skin and that is more and more approved. But back in the day, that was kind of a taboo, but now it's everyday thing.
I know. Well, it's so weird too, because I feel like I've flipped. Like when I was having the conversation with the bishop, he said something to me. I don't even know if this was in the show, but he said something to me. He was like, I feel like I'm talking to you and there's like, something is missing in your heart. Like you're not aligned. Like we look at you and we don't see you as like a woman of value. Wow. And like that really hurt because I was like, but I am like, I'm like doing all of these things. And then now that, because I've like changed the way I dress now. Like I wear longer dresses here all the time too. And now I feel kind of hypocritical in a sense because I see girls on the street wearing things that I used to wear. And I now have that same thought, like, oh, that's not a woman that you would want to like settle down with.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, I was literally that girl a couple months ago, so it's just crazy. Cause I feel like too, like, cause he was right in a sense because I knew why I was dressing that way. Was I getting the attention that I wanted? No, but it's like, I knew I was dressing that way. And like, now that I'm dressing differently, I feel like the way guys are treating me, like I'm getting more respect. I haven't been getting like the nasty messages on Instagram anymore. Or like even like people coming up to me in person. I feel like because of how I'm dressing, they're not approaching me with that sexual attention. And so I don't feel like dirty anymore. Like I'm getting people coming at me in like a respectful way, but like I probably would have still been dressing the way I was always dressing if I wouldn't have gone through this whole experience.
How did you, the first day when you walked on the set or walked into the community, did you meet the bishop right away? What were you wearing? I'm just curious about when you came in from the outside world, was that?
Yeah. So I was it was a dress from Target, first of all. But I didn't see anything wrong with it. It was literally like 105 degrees that day. It was humid. And I didn't know I was meeting the bishop. I didn't even know I was like walking into the community that day. Because I was in LA and I had just flown in and we don't really get a lot of information as far as like our schedule or what we're doing. And so I walked in and then, we see the bishop, and to be honest, I didn't have any thoughts about it. Because I thought like we were going in English. We are, we're English people coming in. And I wasn't I didn't know that it was expected of me coming into an Amish community to already adapt to their rules, not really knowing them. Like I know that they dress more modestly, but that's because they're Amish. Like I'm English. I didn't realize it was expected of me to come in dressing modestly for them, Yeah. And it's like, people are always like, well, didn't you do your research? And I'm like, yeah, of course I did. But again, I'm coming in English. I didn't know that it was going to be a thing.
Yeah. They probably, honestly, the producers probably didn't want you to know that so that you would, you know what I mean? It makes better TV to like walk in and.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow. So did that go well though, when you met the bishop and you kind of came into that? Were you nervous then about like what you were wearing and?
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things. So I wasn't expecting him to like say that to me at all. Again, because I didn't see a problem with what I was wearing. But then when that was our whole conversation, and when it turned into what I was wearing to now talking down on me as a person and like saying that like, oh, you're not a woman of value and you're not this and you're not that. At first I was like, wait, you don't know me.
Yeah, you don't know me.
You literally don't know me. I sat down in this chair for 2 minutes and you're coming after my character now.
Yeah.
So that hurt me and that upset me. But then it also like kind of triggered me in a sense, because I've dealt with slut shaming forever. Like even with being a dancer, you get slut shamed, and then with OnlyFans, you get slut shamed. And I felt like throughout the course of the past like year before this, I had just become a Christian. I drastically changed my life, and so he was kind of talking to me as if I was still doing OnlyFans, or like a person that, you know, gets talked to like that. But I was like, no, like I've literally fought for the past year to change my life.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it kind of put me back in this like bad headspace. And so then when I left the barn, I just started sobbing, because it like, I was coming into this experience like heart open, eyes open, like I was so excited. And so then to get hit with that immediately, you're like,
yeah, it takes the wind out of your sails. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, and then after it's like, I just wanted to cover up, and I couldn't cover up at the time. So, you know, it's like, you just gotta kind of keep going with it.
So you had worked on yourself for all those years before you even went, and you became Christian or grew closer in your faith before you even went on the show. So you felt like you were ready to go into that lifestyle. Wow. Kind of walk me through a day, a typical day. Like I know it's pretty hardcore, I'm sure, with chores and stuff, but from what I've researched about you, really got into that. You really liked the chores and really loved doing that. But I think you've said in the past, even though doing all that, there still was a lot of downtime, right? During the day.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what was the hardest part. Because like usually if you're finishing whatever chores or errands you're doing, you'll sit on the couch, watch TV, or you'll be on your phone or something like that, you know? But with us, like we're very restricted as to what we can do. And the first house that I was in with Sarah and BJ, like there's 3 women. And then when Matt left, it was just 1 guy. So we, like our chores were pretty much covered, you know? And I started doing like some of the more manly chores. Like I pulled out the lawnmower and started mowing the lawn, because I was just bored. I was so bored.
How'd that go over?
Yeah, Alan was like, get in the house. Like, what are you doing? Like, and I was like, no, I want to do this. And he was like, Kendra, no,
we don't
get
do
in
that.
the house. Like, yeah. So I had a hard time with that, because then it's like, okay, I already cooked. I already baked muffins. I've cleaned. I took Sparky, our dog, for a walk. And then we're just kind of like sitting there. And like Sarah and BJ, I feel like they're very like adapted to that already, like the slower paced life. But like I'm like a caffeine junkie, like ready to go, you know? So it's like me just sitting there. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Like, you know, I wanted to do something.
Got to do something.
Yeah. And it's hard too, because like I didn't realize Amish communities are not like secluded. And I guess this is how it was in Ohio too, when I went to school in Ohio. So like you're in your house and then you see English people driving past you and you're like, get me out of here. Like, you know, or like you see like, or even if we were like on a horse and buggy or something, you see people out at a restaurant and you're like, I want to go, like, I want to do this stuff, you know?
You miss that.
But like, like it's not like you don't have freedom, but like you really don't have freedom to do like what you want to do.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah. You like see someone eating in a restaurant or having fun outside. You're just like, oh, I want to do that. Or I want to go back to that part of the life. But there is something too, I'm sure, on the flip side, that's very therapeutic and just pure about how they live. And just you get up and you work hard and it's all about family and faith and how they live and their community. So I'm sure that is also not maybe that extreme, but I'm sure that life, I mean, I think about that, like living on a farm, I think would be so just world changing, you know, it'd just be I would love that. Just the animals and, you know, being able to work like that and just take care of things. That's kind of one of my dreams too, is to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Did this change this whole experience? Did it change overall in kind of like how you see yourself, and even what choices you're going to make in the future, even when it comes to like choosing a husband? Do you look for different things now?
Yeah. This experience, like, even though it was very hard, it gave me so much growth. Cause even like dating, I feel like I was going after guys that didn't respect me because I didn't respect myself. Now that I see it from the outside perspective, like I was a mess. And like, I feel like I was just like constantly seeking for like male validation to make me feel happier about myself, or to like give me the love that I wanted. or even like, because I don't have a relationship with my dad either. So I felt like I was constantly trying to like fill that hole.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I was desperate, but I feel like I was like falling for guys so fast and so easy without me even knowing if they deserved me, because I just wanted that. I wanted that connection. And now after this experience, I feel like I'm realizing like I was the cause of my own pain because I allowed those types of people into my life without like really choosing for myself.
Yeah.
And so like now guys, like before in the past, if guys approach me like, oh, you're so sexy, blah, 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 I would be like, oh, really? Like, let's hang out. Now, if anyone texts me like that, I'm like, no, because I know that you just want like a sexual connection.
Right.
So depending on how guys approach me, I'm very quick to be like, yes or no. I have to date someone who goes to church and like actively seeks God. If they're not a Christian, I'm not interested. Because I've dated, when I became a Christian and got baptized, I did date someone who was not a Christian. And I very quickly realized how like we didn't see eye to eye on some things. And then I have dated a Christian since, and I was like, oh, this is way, like, we're way more aligned with like how we view and like how we act on things. But also, I mean, the situation with Matt. So Matt and I went to a hotel together to get out of the house because we didn't have anywhere else to go. We felt uncomfortable in the house. So we went to a hotel. That's the only place that we could go. We don't live in Lancaster, you know? So, but that experience alone taught me a lot too, because I had a conversation with Matt before we went to the hotel, and I was like, just so you know, like nothing physical is going to happen with us. Like I want to be so clear, because that was something I was working on, and with my morals and my faith, like I really wanted to stick on that. And he was totally understanding, and like he felt the same way. And so the fact that like we went to a hotel and nothing happened, leaving the hotel the next morning, I felt so good about myself because like in my past, I maybe would have done something. Yeah. But now it's like I needed that lesson as well with dating, because dating now, I feel like I kind of do like Amish dating. Yeah. Like I do like chaperoned dating essentially, where like we'll do like a group date or we'll do like a date out in public. Like never am I alone one-on-one with a guy at all anymore, because I don't want to like open up the gate to something happening.
Yeah, that's so good. It's so smart too, because and you had to feel great coming out of that hotel, knowing that you did that you stuck to your morals and your faith. I mean, especially in today's time, I mean, you hear all these things that are going on in the world. Girls go missing and all of these things that happen. So yeah, it's very smart to do what you're doing until you get to know the guy. And definitely having your faith aligned is key, because if you don't, it's only going to lead to problems down the road. Yeah. If you're both not trying to follow God and get that relationship with him, it's only going to run into things you may not even think about yet. It's going to hit you later on. So that's good for you. That's awesome. You Thanks. Know, I know that it stuck with you, some of the things, because I see on your Instagram, like, weren't you churning butter, or you're talking about churning butter and other things? So I was just like, oh wow, she's really taken some of this with her.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, there were so many people commenting like, oh, you didn't even want to be there. And I'm like, no, I did. Like, you have no idea. Like, I was so excited for like the Amish stuff that we were doing, like the churning the butter. That is so fun. Yeah. And like, now I've started selling some, because people are like, oh, we want to try it. And like, I've been making like all of these different flavors and stuff. And like, I have never been a girl who's been in the kitchen ever. Like, I don't cook, I don't bake. Like, and now after this experience, I get so excited about butter. Like, and my friends are like, Kendra, it's just butter. And I'm like, no, but you have no idea. Like,
I made it.
Like, I've never had like a hand blender. Like, I've never had a mixing bowl. I've not like, and now me making like muffins. Like, I'm like, you guys don't realize this is such a big deal for me.
Yeah. Weren't you making them some maple butter or something like that? It looked good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying like all these flavors out. And I don't know, it's so funny. And even my mom, she was like, who are you? Like, because she knows like I would never be in the kitchen before that. So yeah, it's been nice, like taking things home and like adapting it with my life.
And so it sounds like, even though you had some ups and downs with it, it's just a very much, when you look back on it, I'm sure it was a positive experience overall, because you took a lot with you and you've learned and you kind of reevaluated yourself maybe and kind of figured out what you wanted in life later on. So do you, how do you see, where do you see yourself in a few years? Do you want to continue in entertainment or dancing, or what would you like to do?
I don't know. Honestly, it's so crazy because I prayed when I became a Christian. I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. I was like, God, please give me a platform to share my testimony and share my faith. Like, I want to be someone that, like, I know everyone says make a change, but I want to bring like other people to their faith. And so whether that is continuing in entertainment to get a bigger platform to bring more people to their faith, because I want to work in ministry. I want to like help girls who feel like maybe they've gone too far or like feel like they don't believe in God or whatever. Like I want to be that story to like be like, no, listen, like here's what happened to me. So I don't know how to go about that. I just started Bible college, so I'm trying to figure out like when I get a degree in that, like what I can use for that.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily want to like dance. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to continue in that. I started dancing for my church, so that I'm okay with doing. But I mean, even in LA, I really don't want to be in LA. I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Doesn't
like
seem like
I
it
wanna,
fits you now.
Yeah, it doesn't. And it's just, you feel so uncomfortable, like here, you know, because you see how kind of demonic it is. Like, I hate to say it that way, but like,
no, I agree.
I want to be in a small town, like with my cowboy and like a cow and a chicken and a pig. You know, like,
that sounds great to me. Yeah. That's easy. I mean, easy life like that, but you can also do stuff on the side. You know, you can also do something. If you do that as your life and you have a farmhouse or you have that, you can always do podcasts or do something on the side, dance, teach dance, whatever. I mean, that's the great thing about it. That life kind of affords you, you know, just the simplicity of, there's something so just peaceful about a simple life, right? I mean, there's no, you're not feeling like you're competing against anybody or competing with yourself. You kind of know who you are and you just want to share with other people and help people. I think that what you're talking about is so needed today among young women. I think that, I think I see a lot of, you know, they just seem like they're struggling and trying to figure out who they are, and have been told by so many people that you have to do those kind of things like OnlyFans or strippers or dance or what, they have to do that to get seen or to be seen by agents or get a role. Or it's heartbreaking to see them go to that choice down that path. But to have somebody like you to say, hey, I've been down that road, that's not the only option you have, would be very beneficial, I think. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much. I hope, will you please come back? Because I think there's so much more we can talk about for sure. I had a great time talking about, if people want to catch up with you, is Instagram the best place, or where? Yeah, usually I'm on there every day, which is so bad. Well, that's which you control it. I'm sure we're good about it. All right. Well, would you ever, one other question I was going to ask you, do you think you would have stayed out on the whole show? Would you like to go back to that, something like that, or have you learned enough that you want to say no more of that for me? Yeah, I guess I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of factors to why I left. And I feel like if it's meant to be, like, God will definitely make it known, because I've been questioning that too. Like, should I go back? Should I maybe try a different community or something, you know, like I've definitely been questioning that. But there's just a lot of factors that I would have to like reconsider. I know the life that I'm living right now in LA is not what I want. So, but I also don't know if like full on joining an Amish community is fully what I want either. Right. That's a little other extreme. Yeah. Yeah. But I also feel like my experience was cut a little short because of some things. So it's like, there could definitely be a lot more growth there. So I don't know. I guess it's kind of like up in the air. Do you still keep up with BJ or? Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I talk to some other cast members. Some of them I talk to like every day, but I think, you know, going through an experience like this is challenging in itself. And I think we all had a lot of growth that we had to go through. So I think we're all kind of like adapting and trying to figure out our life right now. It's a huge debrief once you come off of something like that, because you have to evaluate what did I just go through? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. All right, my friend. Well, you're great. You're doing great things. What you're saying here is amazing. You're holding up to your values, and that's great. I mean, I think that's
Thanks.
amazing. Keep doing that, and I think you're gonna be okay. Just keep focused on. Give my motivational speech. Just keep hanging on to those morals though, because I think that's what's going to make you strong. You know, it's just, and you are a very strong person. I can tell that. So
thank you.
All right. Well, yeah, catch up with Kendra on Instagram. I guess that's the best place to find you. And and I guess we'll is there any talk of any reunions or second seasons or anything?
No,
like
we're so out of the loop.
Yeah.
I wish we knew.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we're all kind of like twiddling. We're like, what's happening? Like,
yeah. Just waiting game. Yeah. That's that way it is in production, especially in unscripted like that. Yeah. You don't know until the very last second.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you, my friend. I really enjoyed this, and thank you for jumping on at such short notice. So.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Happiness Sold Separately is created and hosted by Jason Hensley and is produced by Makash Films. Narration by Lauren Gobis. If you or someone you know is in crisis and needs immediate help, call the National Mental Health Hotline at 866-903-3787. We would be honored if you would rate, share, and subscribe.
Aye, that's a good one.